Thanks for tuning in to watch The Ordinary Filmmaker. It's Wednesday, October the 20th, 2021. Interested in upgrading to the Sony a7 IV? Trying to justify if it's worth the extra price? Well, I've got some good news and I've got some bad news. Now first, this video, everything I'm getting from it is actually real. This comes from an actual review. You see, a couple of hours ago, I think Tony and Chelsea Northrup accidentally violated their NDA because, well, they accidentally uploaded a video prematurely and it's currently on Vimeo. Now this is all according to Sony Alpha Rumors, so thanks to Sony Alpha Rumors for pointing this out. Now I did watch the video in its entirety, and no, I'm not going to show you clips here. I do feel bad for them, the fact that they've most likely broken their NDA and they've probably gotten in a little bit of trouble, and I'm not here to take advantage of that. While I didn't sign the NDA, I just feel it's bad form to show you the clips. However, I will share with you what they discussed, some key points, and if you do want to go ahead and look at the video, please visit Sony Alpha Rumors, and they will provide you with the video link, at least if it's still up. All right, let's first take a look at the pictures of the Sony a7 IV. In this photo, we can see the a7 IV from the front, without a lens and with the LCD turned around, and clearly the camera's on. Now, one thing I'm not sure about here is, but without the lens in place and with the camera on, unless you've changed something in the setting, it looks like it doesn't have a curtain to come down to protect the sensor from getting dust on it. Or maybe it's just the angle that I'm looking at. And in this view here, we can see the LCD and the new menu system. Tony does say that the new menu system is a whole lot more responsive. It's got the new and improved menu system, and it feels very much like a Canon. I believe Chelsea said that though. And here we can see the buttons on the top. Notice the placement of the record button and also that exposure dial that's on the very far right side. It's no longer an exposure. It can be used to set up as an exposure. It's reprogrammable, and if you press down, you can lock it in place. So if you're going to use it for exposure, you don't have to worry about accidentally bumping it and changing the exposure. And then of course you've got your mode dial out to the front. And here's another view, a slightly better view from the top, looking at the different buttons, the placement of the on and off button and the record button, and of course the hot shoe. Some of the bad news, we didn't get a lot of information talking about the video here. They did talk about the a7 IV being used as a vlogging camera, but Tony and Chelsea are mostly photographers and they focused on the stills aspects of the camera, so I'm not really going to get into the video too much. But I'm going to start off with the price right away. They said the price of this camera, the Sony a7 IV, is $2,599 US. So as I suspected, it was $200 to $300 less, or $200 to $300 less than the Euro price, which was $27.99. But at $2,600, that puts it a little bit out of my price range. And as Tony and Chelsea said, one of the reasons why Sony became so popular so quickly is the a7S III was $600 less than a lot of the competition. Well, that's changed. The Sony a7 IV is actually now more expensive than the competition. It's more expensive than the R6, and it's more expensive than the Nikons. I was really hoping this was going to be no more than $2,500, and because they didn't really cover off the video and didn't go into details about the video, I'm going to hold off until I see the final reviews. They did mention that they've got other videos ready to come out talking about video and other aspects. But let's talk about things such as image quality. This camera is capable of 10 frames per second, same as the a7 III. Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised at that too. Now what Tony and Chelsea found out by testing out the camera is that you had more positive hits than you did with the a7S III. Also, the autofocus system is much more responsive. And when you're tracking a subject, taking photos of a subject, like he was taking pictures of his wife, it was always locked onto the closest eye. It wasn't hunting around, it wasn't going for the nose, for the chin, or other parts, and it pretty much stayed locked on. He said, in his words, it felt like a baby A1. I don't know what a baby A1 would look like. Maybe it's the a7 IV. He went on to talk about the sharpness and the quality of the photos, and he did say it is lens dependent. If you've got a really good lens, you're going to be able to see the difference. If you don't, you might not. But you are getting a larger image size. You're getting that 33 megapixel image compared to what's in the Sony a7 III. So there are definite improvements. Now the color is a little bit different. The a7 III was shifted a little bit more to the green, whereas the a7 IV is shifted a little bit towards the magenta. Tony and Chelsea also said that the A7 IV is very good for shooting wildlife. In fact, they found it to be more accurate and better, especially when it came to the eye autofocus, in the A7 IV than in the A7 III. But video-wise, they didn't really go into too much detail. I believe at one segment they were looking at 4K 30, and they were talking about it from the point of a travel camera, a vlogging camera, and that it does a very good job. But in terms of crop, in terms of validating where it does 7K oversampled 4K, 4K 60, and all the really good stuff that we want to know as ordinary filmmakers or just video shooters, I didn't see that in there. But that price really gets me, $25.99. It's more expensive, and at that price, I'm kind of, I'd rather look again to the A7S III. I don't feel that this was cannibalizing the A7S III in any way in terms of video, not from the coverage that Tony and Chelsea provided. So at the end of the video, they said this, regarding the question of should you upgrade from the A7 III to the A7 IV, and this is what they said. They said, well, it's a perfect travel camera, unless you're looking for improvements in autofocus in the touchscreen and having a bigger file size or moving to a higher detailed 33 megapixel file size, it's not really worth the upgrade. And this kind of bothers me a little bit. An extra $600? I'm having trouble rationalizing it too. And again, I keep bringing up the point that they didn't go into a lot of detail regarding the video side of things. And I really wish they had have. I really wish they had have focused on that. But I know that when I watch Tony and Chelsea, I know that most of their content, they're gearing it towards photographers. And as I've said for many years, don't blame a duck for quacking. If you want to see video coverage, well, there's different channels that focus on that. It's like coming to me and expecting me to cover a lot of stills and photography and giving you tutorials on how to shoot better wildlife or landscape. That's not really me. I'm here and I understand video, and that's what I'm here for. But what did you think? Did you get a chance to look at the leaked video on Vimeo? Is it still up? What did you think of the photos? And what do you think of these specifications? Now, once again, Sony Alpha Rumors did get most of it correct. We're unable to validate the video side of things, but hopefully that will drop very, very soon. And seeing how this video has leaked and it's getting out, well, here's my channel, right? I'm discussing all the key points and what we were able to find out and confirm. I wonder, well, we're supposed to get it tomorrow anyhow, right? The announcement. So things are leaking out pretty quickly, and I'm sure Sony's not happy about this because, well, Sony doesn't like to leak information. They're very exacting and precise, and anybody who's trusted with a camera, they said, don't leak this. This is the date, you must get it out there. So my heart goes out to Tony and Chelsea. I wouldn't want to be on the receiving end of that phone call or Zoom call. But please, one thing you can really do to help me out, please like and subscribe. Not only helps this channel grow, but it lets me know that you're really happy with my work and you find this interesting, and I take it as a pat on the back. But wow, what a lot of news. I wasn't expecting this. I think my break time's over now. Yeah, I got about 2 more minutes before I got to get back to work. Thanks so much for watching The Ordinary Filmmaker. We'll see you again soon.